Hi everyone. So yesterday, so just now, yet again, Ali has come to me to tell me that there's someone in trouble who needs a little help. This is a frequent occurrence. It happens a lot because people know I'm here, and there's a lot of people in Uchira and the surrounding villages. This is one of the surrounding villages, so there's nearly 20,000 people, and within these communities, there's only one NGO. There's only one charity, and that's village to village. So that's myself. So this happens quite regularly. So this lady, a lady came to see Ali, who is a primary school teacher, who knows me quite well. And she said, Ali, you need to tell John there's a mama in a lot of trouble. And she's a single mother with 4 children, one of which is a 1-month-old baby. So her husband, for reasons unknown at the moment, has abandoned them. He's ran away. So yeah, not nice, obviously. But he may have, there's any number of reasons why people run away here, and sometimes you end up with empathy for why they've done it, so I shan't judge him for doing so, because I've got no idea why or what's gone on. So this lady, she, to feed herself and her family, she's had to resort to breaking stones, which means she's breaking stones with a 1-month-old baby strapped to her, or laid on the ground near her when she's working, which is obviously no life for her or this child. It's not right. And she's obviously an amazing mother to go through that to make sure she can feed her children, but she's obviously struggling to resort to breaking stones to do it with a child strapped to her that's 1 month old. So I also heard from Ali that she's broken her hand while she was breaking the stones, so she has broken fingers, and she's still having to work to feed them. So she's obviously an amazing mother. Which you find a great many of here, I should say. You find a great many people, mothers and fathers alike, who sacrifice everything for their children, and I'm often in awe by the way that they are. So.
Vizuri sema vizuri sema vizuri. Njoo simama hapo kwangu.
Njoo, usiogope. Sawa dada.
Nija.
We've arrived at the mama's house. Sat and had a good talk and found out what's going on. Met the baby, who is absolutely tiny, it's only a month old. So we've arrived at just the right time, it would seem, because what's happened is she's been relying on breaking stones to pay for food and to pay for the rent and also the school for the children. So even right next to me, you can see this is next to her house, which is here. It's a very small 2-room hut that she has. She's broken her hand, so she's working slower, and she has a 1-month-old baby to be breastfeeding, so she's working even slower. So she hasn't been able to make the money, so she's behind on the rent. She has no food in the house anymore. They've just run out of food, so we've come at just the right time. She hasn't had the money to pay for the minimal money she owes the primary school, which is like £24, 60, just over 60,000 T shillings, which is about £20, 25, somewhere between 20 and 25 pounds. So I'm going to go and pay that so the children can go back to school because they've been turned away for not paying that debt. Also, none of them have ever had a bed in this house. So I said, is there any sort of luxury item you want, and she said a bed. So I'm going to give her the bunk beds with mattresses. At the moment they sleep on a concrete floor with sacks, so it's ridiculous. We have some bunk beds which are for volunteers, but I slowly have been giving them away, because if I don't have a volunteer here to sleep and there's someone sleeping on a floor with a 1-month-old baby on their chest, then they're going to get priority. And hopefully we'll find funding to replace the beds when the time comes. Yeah. Hi everyone. So I've just come to a house in Moshi which a lady called Vanessa from Australia bought for a family here that she met. She met 2 children who were in need of a little help, and she fell in love with them, as often happens to people here. And she bought them a house and got their lives on track. They had a hard start. When she found them, they were sleeping on the floor and things. So, but anyway, so this is the house which she decided to paint an amazing colour. And you might see Ali there. So Ali is rolling up. I love that colour. So Ali is rolling up a bed. So Vanessa and her mother, they came to village the other day about one of the puppies, because they wanted a puppy for one of the children here. You might recall that in another video I said that I keep giving away my beds, and also as well this week I gave away my hold-all, my bag that I use for when I travel on the plane, because someone needed one to go to university and I didn't have one, so I gave them it. The very next day, as often happens here with these unusual coincidences, Vanessa arrived at village and said, when they were leaving, I have some beds I'd like to donate to you. Randomly, I didn't tell her that I'd given my beds away. And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, also, I have this hold-all and some other items that I wonder whether they might be of use to you as well. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to give things away, yeah? And don't be afraid to not be able to see the end result. Just do what can be done in the moment, and trust that something will work out, because it does. It always does, I promise. So we've come back to village so we can collect a few items for Aika, which is the name of the mother of the 5 children that we've just been to see.
Society, you're crazy free. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society.
Yeah, I see.
Where's Joseph?
Wait, he's here. You up? We've dropped the things off, but unfortunately our transport for the beds, as you will shortly see, suffered an injury. Constantly fixing flat tires in Tanzania, so constantly. Anyway, we're going to fix it now for him.
Nimefunga kitanda.
So this young man has just come to tell me that he has no school uniform and no shoes for school, and he asked me if I can help him with those. So he's not as yet sponsored, but obviously we have contingency pot of money for events like this. So I'm going to take them to the market, because it happens to be market day in Uchira, and kit him out with some shoes and a school uniform as well. Once we've managed to fix this poor guy's flat tire, which is slowly inflating itself off my weak compressor. So off to the market with Messi and Elaine, and we've had some tears from Messi because she's scared of me, because she's never seen a white person before. So gives you an idea how kind of out of the way we are in this area of Tanzania. It's the first time she's seen a white man, so a person with white skin, so she finds it unusual and it scared her. So we've calmed her down now with a dizzy or a banana to you guys who are watching it home. So this happens more often than you would imagine. But anyway, she'll be my friend before long, hopefully.
Tafunga vizuri. Sawa.
Angalia basi kama watoto gani wapi?
Hiyo gauni liweke vizuri huko.
Hey, so we're just getting out the way of the rain at the moment. Yeah, so we've been and bought some school uniforms. A brand new one for the boy and a used one for the girl, but we've had it adapted. So Messi and Alain is the names, sorry. Alain's the boy, Messi's the girl. And also the eldest boy, who is 15, who the mother was worried about, who is idle at the moment, for want of a better term, who's got nothing to do. He fetches water for them from quite a distance. So we have an old bicycle we have access to that we can buy. So we're going to go and pick that up for him so he can collect the water for the family, because having a 1-month-old baby and such, the mother needs as much help and assistance as she can get here. Because the other children, we need to get them some clothes because they literally don't have any. They've got new shoes as well. Yeah, so again, I mean, a lot of what I see here is sad, but this is needlessly sad, man. I know the quality of life some people have in this world, and there's no need for someone to be on such an opposite end of the spectrum. So little. So this lady's been earning less than $1 a day and getting by. I mean, nothing can change their lives. Literally nothing to most people in the West can change their lives. So little can change everything. Children not in school for the sake of £20. Children going hungry for for the fact that their mother's had another baby and the father's left for whatever reason. The amount we waste back home, there's just no need for this at all. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. It's so sad to see. So sad. Well, yeah, I think this is a sign yet again that I definitely need a bigger vehicle when funding improves. But needs must. This is for the young man, the eldest son, who travels long distances to collect water and other things for the family, so it's much easier for him to have a bicycle to do that. So,
I'm not shit.
Nyamaza basi. Unene.
Clary! So this young man is Alain, and he's 8 years old. Alain will be, he's in primary school at the moment, but the family do need a sponsor for all the children, so if anyone out there is interested in helping Alain get an education, then let me know. So, okay. This is little Mercy, who is 7, and Mercy is the another one of the children here. So she has 2 younger sisters, so she's the eldest of the sisters. As with all the other children, Mercy would like to go to school, so needs a sponsor. So if anyone watching this can help Mercy get to school, then please do get in touch. So. This is Paul, or Paolo here. Paul in England, but Paolo in Tanzania. He's 14 and he's basically not doing anything at the moment, so if he could have a chance at doing something, he tells us he'd like to do motor mechanics. So yeah, if we can find any of the children or one of the children a sponsor, especially Paolo, because he's at that risk, he's at that age now where he's very much at risk of becoming a permanent labourer, which is no good. And the other children, even at their age, without primary school, are at risk of that in a family with this level of poverty. So yeah, like I say, Paolo is very interested in mechanics, so if we can find him a vocational training and a sponsor, then we'll get him on a more positive road from this point in. And the way things work here in Tanzania as well is if we do that for him, as he's the eldest son, he will look out for his family. So definitely a sense of urgency for this young man before he ends up somewhere he shouldn't. Okay. And this child is Loveness, who was only 5 years old, Mama's second youngest. And obviously this one is Neema. It was Mama's youngest. It's only 4 weeks, just under 4 weeks old. So.
I believe in the good things coming, 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 coming. I believe in the good
Bye.
things coming, coming. Out of darkness, light up, popping, 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 popping.
Hi everyone. So it's the day after I visited Mama Nerma, and I'm just here. This is not one of my dogs who is bothering me. This is my friend's dog. His name is Max, and his brother Moritz is here. Yeah, so I'm just in town at the moment, and I just wanted to let everyone know what we've decided to do and what will be happening now that we know where we stand with everything. Mama Nerma is no longer going to be breaking stones. I told her it's just not an option with the baby. What we're going to do is try and set her up in business. I like to do things sustainable if I can, let people support themselves, but sometimes you need to give a little handout to get people to that point. So to get her into business, we've already discussed this, we think is going to cost around about 500,000 T shillings into a business that will support 5 mouths and everything else that she needs, you know, so, and school fees and such. So 500,000 T shillings is £200, so around about $300. And that is quite a lot of money to some people back in the West, but that small amount of money here can set her up for life to support her family. For the rest of her life, she'll be able to support her family if I can get that to her. So this is what I aim to do, hopefully. And obviously I have, as some of you were involved with and some of you might know, I have a family sponsorship program which is for this, where we ask people to sponsor a family until they are sustainable in their own income and supporting themselves. So Mama Nerma will be looking for a sponsor for that as well, without a doubt. So it's all gone well ultimately. It's good news. This family up to now it's just relying on finding sponsors for them. Another family in Tanzania with, I'm hoping that we can give a little bit of hope. So, because I truly do dread to think what would have gone on if we hadn't gone on that day. By now, if we hadn't arrived then, they'd be homeless without food. But anyway, a happy result ultimately, up to now. I'm confident as always that we'll find sponsors, so once that's out the way, then we can breathe a sigh of relief for this family. Hopefully they can have a much brighter outlook and no more hungry nights from now on. So yeah, okay. So I guess I'll catch up with you in the next video. Oh yeah, so I touched on synchronicity in this video, which is a bit out there for some people, but this is how it is. So something I haven't mentioned is earlier in the week my camera is pretty bad battery and memory wise, so it's a headache doing this. And I do a lot of meditating, and I meditated on it. I was like, should I do these videos? You know, I was like, is it worth doing? My camera's no good, and you know, will it have the impact I want it to? Is it invading the personal, the privacy of the people who I'm trying to assist? So I have these meaningful coincidences, and the very next day, a wonderful lady from New York called Elizabeth, who has supported my animal rescue and one of the children in the village with many things. The next day Elizabeth contacted me and she said, I have this camera. It's a very good camera, a high definition Sony Handycam with a big memory, a decent battery life. She was like, I'd like to donate it to you because it's sitting in the cupboard and it's not doing anything, and I know in your hands then it's going to be used for something worthwhile. So So unless you're me, or unless you've experienced this in life, these meaningful coincidences. Carl Jung said the world is full of synchronicities for those who have eyes to see. So yeah, I very much believe in the unseen and the magic of life, because it just keeps happening to me. And I'm eternally grateful for whatever force that is that pushes me along and brings me these coincidences and the tools that I need, even when I can't see a way, which is often I think, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And a way I could never have imagined will bring about what I need. So I just need to trust and go with the flow of life instead of trying to make life go with my flow. So I just wanted to add that to the end of this anyway. So okay, take care guys, and I'll see what we get up to this week.